All right, from that, let's take you to some politics now. And tonight, we are calling out President Ruto's government for what is an evident fallback on their election promises. With the reality of competing governance interests dawning on President William Ruto, his administration seems to have abandoned populist pledges made on the campaign trail to win the hearts and minds of voters. And apart from abandoning specific populist promises, whose timelines have since lapsed, 8 months since assuming office, the president is pushing unpopular measures, including additional taxes on fuel, which he had promised to scrap. NTV's Brian Obuya looks at major promises that Ruto has broken.
The Kenya Kwanza government rode on a hustler wave fueled by discontent with the high cost of living. Ruto fashioned his manifesto dubbed the plan that he billed as the antidote to the misses by his predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta. In the manifesto were quick wins that were to be implemented within set timelines of between 100 days and 6 months of coming into office.
Mwaka huu tunaweka bilioni 50.
Once in power, the man swiftly honored the pledge to the judiciary by immediately appointing 6 judges his predecessor Uhuru Kenyatta had refused to swear into office. The head of state also implemented the judiciary fund with a promise to scale up the budgetary allocation to the judiciary by an additional 3 billion annually for the next 5 years. Ruto also signed an executive order giving the National Police Service financial autonomy. But Ruto has not only failed to honor some of the other pledges, but has chosen a completely different path from the picture he had painted while on the campaign trail, with the controversial Finance Bill 2023, which imposes higher taxes, including 16% value-added tax on fuel. This is not the government that Ruto promised watu wa boda boda and mama mboga. Again, while Ruto had pledged that his government would not be about creating positions for the elite, as had been proposed by his opponent through the BBI, the Kenya Kwanza administration has increased the number of principal secretaries and retained chief administrative secretaries, a position established by his predecessor.
Nimeona magazeti watu wakipiga kelele.
The Ruto-Gachagua government has been heavy on talk with little action, talking big and making more promises. Ruto promised that within the first 100 days, Kenya Kwanza will commission a review of remuneration and terms of service for all police officers to be commensurate with the cost of living and other civil servants. Ruto and Gachagua promised to work together with the health workers and county governments to find a solution within the first 100 days of the administration over their woes. Today, the working conditions of health workers have worsened with the strike notice not so long ago.
That our facilities, including Kenyatta National Hospital, have become transition zones where healthcare workers are gaining experience so that they can shift and work in the Western countries, because we are basically unable to take care of our healthcare workers.
That within 30 days they will form a quasi-judicial public inquiry to establish the extent of cronyism and state capture in the nation and make recommendations. That is yet to be seen again or heard.
Mimi siamini kabisa kwa sababu mimi nimeona tofauti mkubwa.
Kenya Kwanza committed to develop a turnaround strategy for Kenya Airways within 6 months of coming into office, but in a sharp contradiction. Kenya Airways is among the several state entities that the National Treasury has denied funding in the financial year starting July 1st. On judgments against the state, Ruto swore to determine within 60 days all judgments and orders against the government and make sure that the government abides by all court rulings. This remains on paper. That they will double the amount of money allocated to school feeding program to immediately raise the number of beneficiaries from 2 million to 4 million, and to provide conditional grants to county governments to extend the program to raise the numbers to 8 million in primary and early childhood development schools. Ruto severally claimed that he won't create new executive positions because it's the turn to look after the welfare of Kenyans and ensure 50% of the cabinet comprises women, and that has yet to be achieved. Brian Obuya, NTV.
Appointed